This was recorded at the Media Joint.
Dive right in, baby.
So fun.
Oh, God.
Girl who like kicked her roommate out.
That is so rogue.
Boy, that's a bit rogue.
Is it even that rogue?
Welcome back to another episode of A Bit Rogue with Skye and Tori. Welcome, Skye.
Thanks, Tozza.
You know what I've been thinking lately? I've been thinking about how much I think going to Europe will solve all my problems this year.
Really?
Yep. Like it just solves everything. It's just so fun. You're with your friends, you're partying, like it's just such a vibe. What do you think about that?
I feel
Because
like...
you're not a Europe galley, but like
No.
I wasn't either until then. I went the last 2 years and I was like, holy shit, this is like the best time of my life. And you know what I really enjoy is I really enjoy looking at everyone's stories and being like, how did you afford that? Haha.
Yeah, that's actually what I do. I'm like, I know you've just rooted a crusty old man for that.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Europe and crusty old men, can I just quickly do a side quest story?
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
Yeah.
So, this girl that was always just a little cunt. Honestly, such a prick. So I had a client once come to me and say this particular girl from my area had told my client that I was an escort, right?
Oh yeah.
No hate to escorts, but don't fucking talk to my clients for starters, let alone try degrade me, I guess, and say that I'm a sex worker to, I don't know, so I lose the client. Like, I don't know what the intent was. But essentially, she had to apologise to me so that I could reconsider her going to the venue. I considered and I thought, no, it's best that you don't come back to this venue ever again. But anyway, she then recently befriended these girls that are from like Queensland or something, but they live in Sydney now, on the other side of Sydney. So she's left the beaches because she's just inventing Anna. You can only do that so like for so long until everyone catches on and is like, get the fuck out of here. So she's in the other side of Sydney, befriended these girls, like social client to get them. She's gone away with these girls on holidays, and this old man actually, like, and I'm not making this up, this is not a rumour, an old man offered her 20,000 euros to sleep with him, and she took it. So,
Wow.
like, fair enough if you want to suck on wrinkly nuts, not for me, but... I mean, I think that's like 30 grand or something Australian.
Yeah.
That's obviously gone straight to her Europe trip.
Yeah.
Good for her.
That's how she's affording her Europe trip.
Yeah, but to make things
her.
worse, post this trip, because I think the girls like confronted her and said it actually makes us feel really uncomfortable and unsafe. Like, you know, it's not just you're putting out there, it's like us, we're traveling with you.
Oh,
which-
they were traveling with her.
With her.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
that is
and
really
they were like,
uncomfortable.
that's... you're putting us in danger,
Yeah,
essentially,
for sure.
it's just crossing their boundaries, and I
Sure.
understand that. Then after this trip, I think obviously it rubbed the particular girl I'm talking about the wrong way. So she then snatched her ex-boyfriend that like just broken up, started dating him.
Oh my God. This
Yeah.
is so messy.
Then she ended up cutting and dyeing her hair the exact same as the friend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was like, that's my...
Wait, which one cut their hair? one
the
that
girl
slept-
that I knew that slept with the old man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
she took the boyfriend and cut her hair to look exactly like the friend.
Okay, then.
Yeah, bloody weirdo. I'm not a Euro girl. I was always like America. I was always just wanted to
Yeah,
go to
I was
America.
America until I did Europe, and I feel like I did it properly, and I was like, this is definitely the fucking vibe, but it's not the vibe like $100 to get like some calamari. That's not the vibe. Or like you get a drink and it's like $50. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I feel like most of the girls that are there that do thrive is, you know, they're with men. And
yeah,
that's
I
just
mean, I was
not
with my
my vibe.
ex-boyfriend like last year when I went to Europe, and that was the vibe because...
Yeah, I would prefer to just go with my friends, and like
Yeah.
my friends from school, right, do it differently from like how your friends would do it, right? That you're seeing on Instagram. I'm seeing people in bloody hostels, shared hostel
Hey, I had
rooms.
my hostel days. I did Europe summer hostel days with a big giant backpack. I did that in Mykonos, Eos, Croatia. I did that. But I'm a bit older now, and I'm down
never wanna do
to
that.
I'm down to go on a boat.
I never want to do that. I don't ever want to be on Kentucky. I don't want to sit in a bus for 9 hours.
I mean, you don't now, but when you're like 20, 21, that is the fucking vibe.
I didn't want to.
Yeah, right.
I was like, get me to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Safe there.
Well, I'm like, take me to the nicest restaurant and take me on a yacht.
Take me on a yacht.
A yacht.
Well, this is no relation to yachts at all, but I have a friend, Alex Hayes, who doesn't, oh, your friend as well. He doesn't like tomatoes, and I don't I don't like a full tomato. Like, I don't mind it on my sandwich or like a toasty or something, but he's like disgusting, like pretends he's allergic kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And when I was at the airport the other day, I just really felt like a salad. I didn't want no macas and none of that. And the salad had like giant cherry tomatoes. They could have cut them up and I probably would have nibbled on them, but they were like beach balls in there.
Yeah.
And I chucked them to the end and I'm like, that's so funny. I'm going to send it to Alex. And I open up my text thread with him, open journal, and I'm the only one writing in it. It's just me. He's not replied to any of my text messages.
Oh, Alex, that's fucking rude,
for
bro.
about 2 years. I just started scrolling and I was like, holy shit.
That's
And
crazy
then-
because if I don't reply to him for like a day, he'll be like, Tori, an mark. And I'm like, dude, just relax.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to send the tomatoes anyway. Because it could be a random, because
Yeah.
that would be really funny if they accidentally, like, I don't know, somehow mix up iMessages.
Because that happens all the time.
So I sent the tomatoes and I'm like, hey, do you want my leftovers? And he wrote back straight away being like, that's disgusting, Skye. So Alex, reply to your damn text messages. Otherwise, I don't mind it being an open journal. But now speaking of food, I actually had a really like, why did that just happen to me moment the other week. So I've noticed the last 2 times I've booked a restaurant, I will usually leave notes in there because 1, I probably need a high chair.
Yeah.
And 2, you know, if you want a seat request, pop it in there, right? So there's an area called the Spit. I would call it Northern Beaches / North Shore because it's quite literally the borderline.
Yeah.
So I wrote in the notes, I'm like, hey, can we please sit like by the water to watch the sunset? I booked it like 2 weeks in advance because I was like very specific where I wanted to sit.
Fair.
And I would only go there for this seat. Got there and there was an event on. And I was like, are you fucking kidding? That's so annoying. So we were like sit up really in the kitchen. I wish they just told me that there was an event on. I would have come the day before.
100%.
Like, I have to organise a babysitter, then organise a bloody Uber. Like, there is a lot of moving parts as a consumer to get my ass there. And I was kicking off with the person that I was with. I was like, I can't believe this. Like, I'm kind of annoyed. Like, I just don't think I want to stay here. And I ended up saying to them, hey, well, the person I was with was like, she wants to leave. I was like, why did you not just call me up and say there's an event
I feel
on?
like they never do that either.
Anyway, I was fucking fuming. And then I thought, oh shit, I think I need to go to the bathroom. Mind you, keep in mind, I had my period. So I knew I had my period as well.
Okay.
But I was
Get
she's angry. Went to the bathroom. I had leaked everywhere. That's disgusting. Imagine.
Like on the chair and stuff?
No,
Like,
not on the chair. Just like through my
happened.
undies and
Yeah,
stuff. And
wow.
I was like, wow, could you imagine me being like, I don't want to sit here anymore. And I walk away and I've got a bloody period stain on the back of my dress.
Yeah.
How
Oh my
fucked
god,
is
that
that?
is fucked. I feel bad for you. That's like
I feel bad
mortifying.
for me.
You know, it's funny. Like we're this old and we still like I still haven't had anything like too crazy. Like I do remember when we were in Saint Tropez, it happened to a girl and it was all in the back of her dress, and I was like, I just could not. I could not. Like it sucks being a girl.
When I was like in year 10 and year 9, I remember at school like it would happen often, but I have not had anything like that happen to me for like 15 years.
I mean, we all track our cycles, so
yeah,
you'd
but
hope
I had a
not.
tampon in.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Heavy flow.
Yeah, literally. Do you have an info moment?
I do actually. It happened today because, as we know, I like to. Well, I don't actually like to, but guys like to kiss me and then tell me after they have a girlfriend. And one of my friends was like, "Oh my god, I actually met the girlfriend like the other day," and I was like, "Oh yeah." And
Of who?
Of this guy that hooked up with me that has a girlfriend. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
but
say
from
names.
which time?
Oh, January. I don't want to say the country because.
Oh right. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
And she's like, you guys look identical.
Oh, I hate that.
And I was like, why would you cheat on your girlfriend to hook up with someone that looks exactly the same as your girlfriend?
Because that's your type aesthetically.
Yeah, but that's like, you may as well just stay with your girlfriend. And I did say to this person at the time, I was like, you don't like your girlfriend, you should just break up with her if you literally did that to me. I mean, not that I'm like sad about it or anything, but like you don't hook up with someone and then be like, oh, sorry, I have a girlfriend. I'm like, what? It's making me think like when I broke up, with me and my ex broke up, like the 2 people after, the next person was like, he's Jewish and Israeli. The next person was Jewish Israeli, and then the next person was from New York and American. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I seriously just do that without even thinking about it? It just happened.
Yeah, you have a type in your head. Yeah, I have an ex that did that. Dated a girl that I even thought looked like me, and she was pretty. They're not together anymore, and I'd say the girl he's with now, like, oh, Josh is a nice girl, but I wouldn't say that we look alike. If you know what I mean? But no, I think some guys have aesthetically a type and they stick to it.
It made me feel weird though. I was like, surely I don't look like this person, because people told me on the night. Were like, oh, you look like the girlfriend, and I'm like, oh, great. And then my friend met her and she was like, no, you guys, you look identical. And I was like, that's weird, because I've never really met someone who looks like me either.
Low-key want to see.
Yeah, same. I was like, can you send me your Instagram? She was like, no. And I was like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not a home wrecker, but like, also give me your Instagram.
My infy, I'm literally just like the biggest rat. I've got my nose in someone else's business, because when I dated my trucky boyfriend, we went away with my like cousins and stuff, and they were working with a guy who, oh, this is like going to be a bit confusing. So can you let me know if the characters don't make sense? So we met this guy who has kids from a previous marriage.
Yeah.
2 kids, and his new girlfriend was there. She was just such an asshole. Like, she was just rude to me, rude to everyone, rude to the men. Anyway, she said it was Easter time, and she said in front of the kids, and they hadn't been together very long, your dad's going to have kids with me, which I think is very inappropriate.
Super inappropriate.
Yeah, you just don't say that in front of your kids, especially when your mum and dad have just split up. And I'm pretty sure they split up because he started seeing this new girl. They're just not a good pair together. Like, they have scammed people. They have scammers. Like, he consistently cheated on her. She ended up marrying him.
Wow. She's
then had 2 kids with him. And this is still all going on, scamming people. They start opening businesses with the money that they've scammed people with. Then he slept with another girl in Sydney that I know, who got pregnant, who she then kept the baby. She told the wife, she said, hey, I'm pregnant with your partner's kid. And she said, I don't give a fuck. He's married me. I've got 2 kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, not for me. Now, if you're sus on your man, you need to join the Facebook group Sis Is That Your Man, New South Wales, or whatever bloody state you're in. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't. I think you've actually mentioned it.
So there's a bunch of posts in there, pretty much just of guys' faces, or, you know, posts saying, hey guys, I was talking to this guy, his name goes by, let's say, Johnson. Does anyone else talk to a Johnson? You know, that kind of vibe.
Yeah, right. And they fully get them.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So the other day, so we have to remember this guy has had 2 kids in a previous marriage.
Yeah.
His current marriage, he's got 2.
Yeah.
He's got 1 more kid with his side lady.
Yeah.
The other day, he just got posted on, Sis, is this your man?
No way.
This guy's
So you're in this group?
No, my cousin screenshotted it. She got to tell me the tea on this. Like, I've been following this for 5 years.
Yeah.
So she puts the name of the guy, his actual name, his city that he's from, was talking for about 3 to 4 months. I'm currently pregnant and he's being shady. Will only meet me in secret spots. I'm just feeling really confused. Any tea, ladies? And posted a photo of him. Yeah. The comments are really hectic. And all of a sudden, a girl with the same last name as the current wife comments saying, can you please message me right now? Then further, the side baby mama then sees the post.
Oh my God.
And she comments, I'm the one who had a child with him a year ago. Whoever posted this, please reach out to one of 3 of his baby mamas. This is so embarrassing.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then...
Mate, Skye needs to learn to use condom.
So this will be his 6th child.
Wow.
Yeah. And anyway, it just keeps on going on of people being like, I know him, da-da-da-da.
That's crazy. All right. Well, gals, if you're sus, get on it.
But also, it's not for me. Why would you want to hang out with someone that has multiple children to multiple people?
Yeah, especially when they haven't been like, it'd be different if they were like married, divorce kind of thing. Like
no,
that, you can't help.
Like
this
are
is
all
actually
kids that are
just
under
like
the age of 12.
this is fucked. Yeah.
But also,
you better have a fucking good job.
Be for real though. She had his name and his photo. You can literally scan Google with photos. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Stay woke, ladies.
For sure. A very exciting guest today, and she's actually training to be in the Olympics.
Welcome, Brittany. So, do you want to give us a little rundown who you are, what you're currently doing, what you're working towards?
My name's Brittany and I'm a diver. I do springboard diving, 3-meter springboard. And I've done that for probably almost 15 years now.
Wow.
So yeah, at the moment I'm in the middle of comp season at the moment. So I'm going to China in 2 weeks for World Cup, and then I've got Olympic trials in June. So
Very
Slay.
exciting.
Yeah.
Did you do gymnastics before diving?
A bit, but I was kind of shit. So
Ah, because a lot of your training, like not a lot of your training, but what you post on your Instagram stories is like kind of similar drills to what people do in gymnastics.
Yeah, we do a lot of like land-based kind of flips and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like kind of the only part of gymnastics I was good at, was like the flipping. But I hated the bars and the beam and everything. I used to like fall off the beam.
More the
every 2
tumbling side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
diving.
So when you're traveling a lot, like how often are you traveling in comp season? I'm so interested.
Well, I just got back from Germany like a week and a half ago.
Wow, that's big traveling.
Yeah. and
Europe,
then
wow.
China's, so I mean, I'm only here for like 2-3 weeks in
Wow.
between.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a bit more chill this year.
Yeah.
Last year was wild with like com games and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot.
I know we just spoke about it, but we weren't recording. So I want to talk about it again. So you were just explaining that you don't actually know if you're going to the Olympics until a month prior.
Yeah, so we have an Olympic trials,
Great.
and then it's top 2 from each event. So
Do you have like a semi idea or like?
I mean, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Are you ranking? Are you currently in top 2 right now? Do you feel?
There's probably like 4 or 5 of us in my event that are all quite equal.
Yeah.
So it's sort of down to the day.
Right
But-
now, are you essentially the same team?
Yeah, like it
Okay.
changes here and there, like a couple of people. But
So is there like any competitiveness, even though you're on the same team?
yeah, I don't know. Diving's very nice. Like
That's
I know
good.
sports like gymnastics and stuff can get very toxic.
Yeah.
But yeah, diving's pretty chill. We're all friends, and then I think on the day, I mean, like in my head, I'm kind of like, a little bit.
Yeah, of course,
Competitive.
as
Yeah.
you would be, 100%.
Yeah.
You feel like Australia is different to
Yeah,
other countries?
I think like the States and Canada and stuff, I think they get a little bit more competitive. But
Interesting.
yeah,
But I
Australia's
guess that just comes down to who's in your current team, like your coaches and trainers
Yeah.
and stuff like that as well, because they really set the tone for everyone.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about as well, you do have a bit of a following, and because of that, you do get included into like PR events and, other influencer campaigns essentially. Do you feel like when you go to the events, you have to act a certain way or have to like kind of not shelter yourself, but be more careful because there's eyes on you, or do you feel like that doesn't really affect you?
I guess to an extent, but I usually just like I'll bring like my +1 and just kind of like stand in the corner with them.
You are quite introverted.
I'm not good at talking to people. Like if someone talks to me, sure, but I don't know. I mean, I try not to get too like lit at these events, I guess.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, some events are, I guess, better kind of vibes than others.
Yeah.
Some of them, I don't know, I find like people can be a little bit standoffish sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of keep to myself and
Yeah, I mean, we normally do that too. We like have
Yeah.
our friends come and we
Yeah.
just hang out
Yeah.
with our friends and we're like, oh, everyone else is scary.
have the free drinks. and the free food.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you think that like helps with your career at all, having a social media presence? Because I know in some like sporting industries that they really do look at that, especially nowadays.
Yeah. And I mean, diving doesn't exactly pay well unless you're like pretty much the world champion. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it helps like career wise.
Yeah.
I'm able
Like to do like brand deals on the side and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Because then you
otherwise
have those endorsements there already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be able to support myself otherwise without
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
true.
I was actually going to ask, like, so let's go back to like the 2000 games, right? And Ian Thorpe was like Uncle Toby's, and he would have made a mozza on
Yeah.
that. Do you find it harder now as an athlete because these big brands are using pretty much anyone that's on the internet opposed to Aussie icons essentially?
Yes, but I feel like, I mean, I try to sort of differentiate myself a little bit. Like I try to use the diving more. So I find when I post like just kind of the boring like fashion lifestyle stuff, it doesn't do as well anyway.
Yeah,
So
like
it's-
people are following you for diving and they
Yeah.
are interested in your content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I find that that's been good. And then I've recently signed with a new manager, like, well, it was probably like a year ago now, but since then it's been like, yeah, really good.
And is that your manager for everything or just for brand deals? Like
Social media, yeah.
Yeah, social media. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So other people on your team that don't have a following, do you feel like they are kind of at a loss because they're not getting supported financially throughout their career?
I mean, a couple of them have, most of them work, but it's hard to work like full time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
and
when
then
you're
do
literally
that.
trying, like,
Oh, it's,
your
yeah.
end game is Olympics.
Yeah. So
That
I
is
don't know. One of my
crazy.
friends, she works full time. I don't know how she does it, but most of them just have like casual jobs, and then diving pays a little bit. So I guess there's like, yeah, it kind of
Like the diving association, or
yeah. And if you compete well internationally, then you get like government payments and stuff.
Okay.
that's kind of cool,
Yeah, and then
but
China.
not much.
No. Oh, it depends. Depends how well you do.
Okay.
But China is like one of the opportunities this year to get some prize money. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you don't just get a medal, you get some cash
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
do they have, like, this might be my ignorance, but like, do you have sponsors when you go to the Olympics? Like, is that how it works? Or do you get that, like, it's like footy where you have the sponsors and stuff that pay you, or?
they don't pay us. I think they just pay like Diving Australia.
Okay.
We don't really see any of that.
Yeah,
but-
right. Interesting.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's not like surfing where you have like sponsors and that's that. Wild.
Yeah, we just get like the free kit and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So your day to day, so if, you know, someone is working full time compared to you who you're not working full time, what time do you start training?
So I usually start at either 6 or 7:30, and I'll
PM?
do AM.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I'll do like a gym session or like dry land kind of somersaults and stuff. Go home, rot for a little bit, or just like catch up on like some social media work or whatever.
Yeah.
And then usually I'm back at the pool at 2 till 4:35ish.
Yeah.
So
So-
how do you manage that if you're working full time?
Yeah, I don't know. They're like
Wow.
That'd be
flexible
so
with
hard.
it, but
It's crazy. There's
yeah.
not much like rest and recovery time
No.
then.
And it just makes you so tired.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I do have free time, but when I do have the free time, I just like
Just want to chill.
die. Yeah.
For
yeah,
sure.
that's understandable.
Yeah.
I think also we're really interested to get your thoughts on any concerns you might have behind like your being a female and your cycle, like your period, libido. Like, do you ever get concerned about it or not really? Because it's not, you don't know any different.
I mean, with like my cycle and stuff, I've definitely had problems in the past. It's kind of a bit better these days. But like it's hard to train, especially like that week before your period. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like I always feel like I've been hit by a truck and like just
Like tired?
real?
Or?
yeah, and just like out of it. It also stuffs up my coordination a little bit.
Mm.
So like I feel a
Interesting.
bit more off balance in those few days before.
Wow.
I mean in Berlin I like got my period like the day after comp. So that was kind of rough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have you ever noticed like getting it while you're like,
not while I'm training.
like training or anything?
I don't know how, but I feel like it kind of stops in the water.
Yeah,
So,
right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
That'd be like my main concern. I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
No, wow, that's really interesting about the balancing, because
Yeah.
obviously when I was pregnant, that was actually my first sign of pregnancy. I was a
Oh,
bit
really?
unco, and I was like, I'm actually really a coordinated person, and I was like, I need a pregnancy test. I tripped over in Woolworths, and I was like, she doesn't normally do that. After birth, because you have a front load pretty much, and it tips you forward, your like center of gravity completely changes consistently throughout the journey, right, of pregnancy. And after, I thought it was because my body was getting used to being, you know, kind of 2D again. I couldn't do a handstand, but it was actually my hormones
Wild.
out of
Yeah,
whack.
interesting. I
Yeah,
never really
random
thought about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't do
So-
cartwheel or handstand, and that's like something like I
Can
could.
you now?
I think so. I haven't tried it. We can try.
We'll
it
have to.
after.
We'll have to try.
There is an app that is coming out, like it's a startup where it's meant to help coaches, because female athletes are, I forget the exact stats, but it's something like 80% more likely to be injured around their period. But then they've got all this science behind it, and so they're building this app that athletes and coaches can both use, and so you can train smarter or be more efficient
That'd be good.
around to, one, minimise injuries, and two, like then you can kind of plan a bit better coming into comp days and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
there's
it's
nothing
like
like
word for
done at the moment. You just kind of have to cop it.
I wish we had that back when I did cheer.
Yeah.
So only because, you know, being yelled at's a bit different when you're on period
Yeah.
versus not.
So gymnastics being pretty foundational for diving, and with that, like a lot of scandals have come out, especially across like the US teams. Have you ever had to experience anything like that with any coaches or physios in the past?
No, I've been very
Okay.
lucky.
That's
Yeah.
good. Do you reckon
Wow.
it does still happen a lot even in Australia?
But isn't
I
that
think
sad
so,
that you
yeah.
have to say that's like you're lucky?
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, in swimming, there's been a few incidents. But yeah, gymnastics, it's
Swimming.
definitely very prevalent just in sport in general.
Yeah, for sure.
But I guess like anywhere you are, like any kind
I
of
was
work
And then-
actually
yeah,
quite
that's what we were trying-
oblivious to it actually
yeah.
until the Team USA came out about their stories.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think that would be a thing in Australia, but I mean,
yeah.
do athletes talk to one another, or it's just like you're trying to, there's that one goal and you're just super hyper fixated on that goal, just get there?
I mean, I haven't heard much, not within diving at least. Like there's definitely been rumours going around, not so much in Australia, but overseas. But yeah, no, I don't hear much of it. And if I do, I kind of just keep to
block it
myself.
out.
Yeah,
100%.
stay in your lane.
I guess
of.
you
Yeah.
kind of don't know when it's like true, when it's not true, like when someone's trying to get something out of it. And that's like the scary thing about all of that kind of stuff in every industry as well at the moment.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, reflecting back on, like, not that I was, I mean, actually, I'm not going to dull myself down. I did go to Worlds. I was about to say, like,
slay.
I, not that I'm on the same level, not really, but I do see it now. Like, I was 16 traveling overseas with a coach that you're like, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. So my tumbling coach was a male, and he knew everything about me. I knew everything about him. He was married and had kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're like this, you know, tight. And I look back now and I'm like, that is bizarre.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Yeah,
a
it is,
16-year-old
100%.
with like a 40-something-year-old,
Yeah.
that's really bizarre. So I kind of now look back and
But
go,
is that
I
because
do-
back then it wasn't so like diss and now it's people think more of it? Or is that just because you've gotten older and you're
because I've got an
you
older,
have- and
my
you have a
parents
kid.
definitely thought it was weird. They actually
Right at the
moved
time?
me clubs.
yeah, interesting.
I started training
So you
in-
had a female coach.
So in cheerleading, there's different sections, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have a stunt section, you have a tumbling section, and you have a dance section. So the dance section, you don't really have a specific coach for. You just do like a choreo day where you
Yeah.
learn it and you just, that's the routine.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been in the dance section anyway, would you?
I was actually front and center, motherfucker. Anyway, stunting, we'd have two coaches. We have one main coach and an assistant, just because there is a lot of like, you know, falling and throwing and, you know, all that jazz. And with tumbling, we just had one main coach. And now, you know, leading up to Worlds, you do privates here and there, you do additional hours, but you're in the gym like every single day with these people. So inevitably you're going to form some sort of relationship with them. However, the scandal was at the time, the husband stayed in Sydney with the kids and the wife, she was our stunt coach. And she came to the US with us. We were competing at like ESPN, like where Disney is. So we were like a few flights away from Sydney. And he was messaging us athletes, young minors, asking what his wife was doing because she was out partying and wasn't coming home and wasn't looking after us. And we had like our assistant coach, a
Interesting.
couple volunteers with us. It's like this big ordeal when we got back to Australia. Like, you know, we should be celebrating the fact that we even went to Worlds in the first place. But one, we didn't place. I think we ended up coming like 12th or something. We had a fall on the first day. Overall, Australia did get second, so that was a bit of a woohoo. But when we came back home, we were all being questioned about what one of our coaches did in their behaviour, not, wow, this is really awesome, what can we improve on for the next year? And my parents kind of, you know, interjected themselves and were like, this is not a normal relationship to have. You either have to quit or we'll put you into a club in Newcastle. And that's what we did. I started training in Newcastle and my dad was happy to pick me up of an evening in Newey instead of, you know, be around that. And at the time I was like, wow, like as if they would do that. But now being a mum, I would do that for my child,
Yeah,
like
for
to
sure.
protect them.
Yeah.
Like it is weird and
Yeah.
strange, like
Yeah.
to have that kind of relationship. Some of the girls are as young as 14. So
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, interesting.
I think it happens a lot, like over a lot of different sports, like especially like the surfing. Like there's always like young girls going away with like older guys and stuff like that. And there is a lot of partying and drinking and sometimes even drugs. And it's like, where do you draw the line? Like, I mean, I was an adult, so it's fine. But I've been on a modeling job, and then next second we're all getting fucked up together, and we're in Miami, and I'm like, this is fun for me. But if I was maybe one of the other girls, I would feel really uncomfortable. Everyone's getting really drunk. Like, we're on a job. Like, we shouldn't.
I feel like it is a little bit different with sports though, because it's not like no one's doing drugs or anything. Because of the drug testing and all of that, and like, you know, that's why it is a bit weirder now. I think about it. Like, we went to like you could call it a sober party at Disney. Like, they do a block party, but you're there with your coaches, like partying. Yeah. Even though it's no alcohol involved, but it's still weird.
Yeah, 100%.
Internationally, there's like a lot of coaches that date the athletes.
What?
Not so much. It's less so now, but back like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow. The physio I went to, there was whispers about him, and I went and saw him only because I got injured at a gym next door to where he worked from, so they kind of just took me up straight to him. He sells himself as like someone that was on the Olympic swim team, and he wasn't. He was apparently like assistant of, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Heard whispers about him. I'm probably not going to see him again. And my actual chiro, I mentioned it to him because he was actually on the swim team, and he's like totally normal. But I asked him about it, and I was like, do you know such and such from, you know, the physio place? And he goes, yeah, he's a weirdo. I was like, wow, I met a weirdo. If you go to the Olympics, will you get a tattoo?
I have one. I went in 2016.
What? I thought you went to Com Games.
Yeah.
So Com Games is Olympic, like, you're going to get the tats for that?
No, I went to Olympics in 2016.
Wow. How did you go then?
I did okay. But I was like a last minute kind of call up because the girl in my event pulled out. 18.
Oh wow! So you were like the baby.
Yeah.
So you would have had eyes on you.
Yeah, and I wasn't very prepared, but I did okay. I made the semi-finals, and I was like close to making final. So
what was it like being in like the Olympic Village with everyone? Does everyone mingle or?
Yeah. I was just like, because I was so young, I was just so anxious. I like barely left my room. But yeah, I think the village is weird, like a weird kind of vibe.
What do you mean? Like everyone's like tense or like?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's a lot of like staring and like that kind of thing going on, just like shameless. But
that's not for me. I would cry.
Yeah.
It's
so awkward.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
It's like just, you feel like you're not even in like the world. I don't know how to explain it. But same with Com Games, like to a lesser extent. But
yeah. Com Games, is there less? Oh, it's obviously way less countries. Yeah. So not as many destes.
Yeah.
Wait, so tell me about the tattoo thing. I don't know about this. You get a tattoo if you go to the Olympics?
Olympic rings, yeah. I have it on my...
Oh. And you do it every time you go or just the one time?
Just one. You don't have to.
Does everyone do it?
Nah.
Super slay.
I'll definitely do it.
Yeah, I would.
100%.
If Banks went to the Olympics, I'm getting them.
Yeah.
I'm getting them. My sport didn't get Olympic status well after I retired, so I got to get my time to shine somehow. Even if he plays table tennis.
Yeah.
I would get a tattoo for table tennis.
I've heard stories that the Olympic Village is meant to be
incestuous.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed it was going to be. I wasn't expecting you to say that it was like
by,
uptight.
the staring, or is that more just
there's
like
definitely a lot of...
competition
They literally have like...
everyone fucks each other.
Yeah.
Wait, can we...
But how do we okay, I'm sorry. How do we go from being stiff and angry at everyone to everyone being loosey-goosey, this is a sex party? Do you know what I mean? Or does that happen after?
Like when
the
they...
game?
Depends who you are. Some people just don't give a shit.
I personally, obviously I'm not the right personality for the Olympics because I am not, like, one, I cannot be consistent. I am an athlete. Are you kidding? I play netball. Anyway, got netball tonight. Go team, netball baddies. Anyway, if I was in a village, I would love to hang out with everyone. I would have so much fun.
Yeah.
And everyone would hate me.
No
Because
way.
I'd be like, good morning. Let's all hang out.
People try to sleep with each other, just like wig them out, like wig the other teams out and stuff.
Maybe, I don't know. I've never
Yeah,
thought about
that'd be
that.
wild.
I would do that.
Imagine that, like, oh, like you had a really hot guy on your team and you're like, God, you go sleep with them girls and week them out.
Yeah,
Oh my
wow.
God, that'd be
No, I
so
think that's way
intense.
too calculated. I reckon.
Yeah.
They probably have other things
I mean-
on their mind.
There were stories of
Probably
like
happens.
this one girl who like kicked her roommate out the night before comp just so she could like sleep with someone.
Oh
And the
my
roommate's
God.
just like sitting outside just like for hours.
Oh no!
Just, like,
Right
cooked.
before like the biggest competition
Yeah.
of your life.
Seriously, who the fuck does
wild.
that?
What do you think you'll do, like post Olympics? Like how old do you see yourself doing Olympics for, or Olympic trials at least?
I always said until like this year, and kind of depending on whether I made it or not, I don't know. But I think because I've only been doing the springboard for like 3 years now, so I used to do the 10-meter platform and then changed, and I feel like I still have a lot in me. So I was going to keep going till Com Games in 2026, but I don't even know if that's happening anymore because they cancelled it in Melbourne.
Oh.
I didn't even hear about that.
yeah.
Why was
Yeah.
it cancelled?
Too expensive.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that was the
Wow.
plan, but now I don't know. So we'll see. I'm trying to like set up a little clothing brand as well at the moment,
Amazing.
just to kind of have something to like fall back on.
Yeah,
But,
what kind of clothes is it?
Like I've just got little kind of dresses and like 2-piece sets, like mix and
Cute.
match. But it's slow. Like
yeah,
it's just
so process.
hard.
But it's cool that you're working on it.
Yeah.
Do you really
Yes.
like?
It's going to be called April in Mayhem.
Oh, I like the
Ooh.
name.
Yeah, and I was
Okay.
hoping to have it ready before like Olympics and stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen. So
It's like Europe summer kind of dresses, like very
yeah,
Bali
like little
vibes.
dinner
Yeah,
dresses.
Well, now
cute.
this is holding you accountable.
Yeah,
Yes.
you got to do it. I'm
So
excited. I'm excited.
If other people are working full time, you better be working full time on your business.
Get there.
Yeah.
I'm just
That's
lazy.
super exciting.
Did you come prepared with your most rogue moment? I
Oh.
can think of one.
Oh God. Okay, I have heaps of embarrassing diving stories, but this one's stuck with me. So we had a diving pool at my school that I went to. That's where I started diving. And we had to do this like big diving display in front of the whole school. And so everyone's watching it. Everyone thinks like, oh my God, it's Brittany O'Brien. Like she's really good at diving. Like, you know, everyone's so excited. And it had been raining. It was an outdoor pool at the time. And so the platform was like a little bit slippery. And so I do my little approach, like step hurdle thing. And I get to the end and my foot just like slips off the end.
Oh my God.
And I come out and I land flat, like could not be more
Oh
flat on
my
my back.
God.
Like I didn't even go into the water. I just like stayed floating.
Holy shit.
And the whole school was just like, oh, like I've never heard.
That
was
would be so scary doing that,
embarrassing.
something like that in front of so
Oh
many
my God, it
people
was
as
so
well.
embarrassing.
Oh,
And the amount of people
no.
afterwards who were like, I thought you were supposed to be good at diving.
Oh,
So I swear I am.
Oh my
It was
God.
so bad.
That's actually one thing that I get nervous when I am, like, I love watching the Olympics and the games and stuff. And my top ones would be, I do like watching the gymnastics. I like watching the synchronized swimming and the diving. But I always get so nervous watching the diving
It's cooked, yeah.
because, like, what happens if you, like, when you're on the springboard, jump up and you do slip a little bit, you over rotate or something and you hit your nose on the board. That's what I'm thinking about, like nose on the board. Oh my God, I shouldn't say that. That's so rude.
Have you seen
Sorry.
did you see my knee buckle video?
No.
Oh my God, wait.
Did I? For Worlds was we all had a summer cold or something. And I remember our coach was telling us to tumble across the floor, like in like one person went, next person went, one person went, next person went.
Oh, no.
And
No.
I want to say,
No, you don't.
oh no, ew.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God, it's hectic. What's like summer colds?
cold,
Cold. Oh.
like flu.
Right.
Anyway, because everyone was sick and we were doing like one after the other, all you could see was snot.
Ew.
Because you're flipping, right? And it just flies out and you're being yelled at. So it's just like, go, go, go. Oh, disgusting. I tried to think of a pun
Oh God.
on diving and I literally spent hours on ChatGPT being like diving puns, but it kept coming up like scuba diving stuff and I'm like, no, stupid, I'm talking about like board diving. And when I type in board diving, it didn't understand my request. What would you explain it? Do you say board diving? Spring diving?
Springboard platform.
Yeah, probably platform diving probably was better
Oh,
way
the
to
amount of
just-
like people who think I do scuba.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Whenever I'm like, oh, I'm a diver, they're like, oh, how deep do you go? What?
Actually, did you? All right. Game name. Divine. Double entendres. So word association.
Oh my
Double
God, I'm
entendre.
so bad
The
at
words
this.
have
Okay.
two meanings. So we're going to say a word and you have to quickly say the word that comes to your mind.
No, this is so okay.
So
Wait, like
So
it
I'll say,
means
for
the same thing,
example-
or it just has to be related.
no, just anything. So if you think of an apple, I think of red.
Oh, okay.
Or like if I think of Tori, I think of surfing. You know?
Okay.
Just a word that you associate with the words we're going to say. Word for word?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Flaccid.
Penis.
Stroke.
Head. I don't know.
Don't you swim in the pool, like do some strokes?
I'm having a stroke, like head stroke.
Stiff.
Me. No, I can't. Okay.
Wet.
Water.
Bush.
Piss.
What the fuck? Beaver.
Animal.
Package.
Shopping.
Bang.
Oh my God, what are these words? I keep thinking of like, okay.
Like sex. I keep thinking of
Yeah.
sexual stuff. I'm like sex.
I don't want to say.
penis.
I don't want to. Okay.
Bang. That's the last one.
Bang. Loud.
Tried doing ones that were like semi-pool related, so I'm like stroke. She could say
Yeah.
butterfly.
I was gonna say heart attack. Like.
Yeah, that's
I thought you were saying hard. I was like, Jesus. Dive right in,
That's
baby.
so funny.
Well, thank you so much for coming in on a bit rogue
No
right
worries.
before trialing for the bloody Olympic Games,
So
China, like crazy. Thanks for listening to A Bit Rogue, where we uncover the stories of athletes, artists, and celebrities with their most rogue moments. Episodes dropping every Wednesday.